Welcome to Ring Talk. Magic Tyler, Caysen Smith, and we are here post Clash of the Castle.
Post Clash of the Castle. Very interesting Clash of the Castle.
Yep. Just want to note that we are recording this on the night of Monday Night Raw.
Monday Night Raw.
June 17th.
June 17th, we're recording
Right.
this.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, so it's...
June 17th.
Which
is the big day.
according to theories
According to
and posts
the website,
that are alluding to potentially...
there's literally a countdown.
literally a countdown for tonight.
I'm hyped. But that's for later.
That's
We'll
for
talk
later.
about that later.
That's for later. As you can see, we're recording this in the middle of the day.
And we're hungry.
So we're hungry. So we each got our own lunch. Caysen's got the Wendy's biggie bag. I have a peanut butter sandwich.
Heck yeah. And barbecue sauce.
He's got the BBQ sauce. So, quick review of all the shows throughout the week last week. Everything pretty much just building the Clash of the Castle.
Yeah.
Priest and McIntyre going at it on Raw. You had Rhodes and Styles going at it on SmackDown.
I think the only thing I wasn't building up was Liv and Dominic.
Yeah, they're kind of still doing their thing.
That was some pretty... I don't think that's PG stuff.
I don't think that's PG stuff.
But...
Getting a little crazy.
It's definitely building up.
Yeah, and if you notice, did you see... Because we were at Raw, they're dealing with Liv Morgan's key card.
Mm-hmm.
Did you see who took it?
Who took it?
Finn Balor.
Finn Balor took it.
Finn Balor took it when nobody was looking. You got to go back and watch the clip. He nonchalantly just takes it up. What does that mean? What's this deal with Finn Balor and Liv Morgan?
It's really leading up to Damian Priest getting betrayed.
You think?
I think so.
Finn Balor's going to betray him?
Finn Balor, Dominic, and Liv are the new Judgment Day. Well,
What about JD?
that's the question. Is JD...
Where does JD go?
JD is best friends with Finn, so you'd imagine...
You would think he'd go with Finn.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
I'm telling you, man, it's going to be Damian Priest and Rhea Ripley versus those two. I'm calling.
Okay. Let him cook. Let him cook. But everything kind of built up to Clash of the Castle, and...
You know, we were really wrong.
There's a lot of surprises, a lot of upsets, but we'll start with the opening match of the night, Cody Rhodes versus AJ Styles for the WWE Championship, the undisputed WWE Championship, in an I Quit match. Did you notice? There's a lot of mishaps throughout this night. The first one that caught my eye was when they had the nameplate for Cody Rhodes. It said they didn't have it updated with Cody Rhodes' name, so it just said Talent's name on it. Did you see that?
No.
When I think it was when they're making their entrances and they'll have their name pop up.
Yeah, they always have the nameplate on the board.
Yeah, someone didn't update it, so it just said talent name on it, and immediately it was there for a second, and then it went away. And I was like,
Talent name.
I saw that. I was like, oh, this is gonna be a long event. This is gonna be a long, rough event.
That was the only rough part about it, though, to be honest.
And then there was a lot of issues with the ropes being slick. Because we saw with the women's tag, we saw Jade fall.
That's fair.
Priest nearly took off his leg.
Dude, yeah, I saw that. I didn't know if that was supposed to be a part of the
I
match
don't think
or not.
so.
I don't think it
because
was. He was limping after.
Because a lot of people were having issues with the ropes. It was just slick and stuff. But yes, Cody Rhodes and AJ Styles, I Quit match. It was brutal. It was violent. It was everything it was supposed to be. Mama Rhodes got involved. She started swinging at AJ Styles. I was honestly kind of half expecting the OC to pop up at some point.
That would have been cool.
With it being no DQ, I was kind of expecting that, but that didn't happen. There was some blood. Was it real or not real? You decide. It dried up pretty quickly, I will say.
Yeah.
Came off of Cody Rhodes' face pretty quickly. So was it real? I don't know.
Probably not.
But what did you think about the match? Was it? I thought it was a solid opener.
It was how I expected it. I'm glad they put it as the opener, not the main event.
What'd you think of the finish when it was just Cody with the steel steps and he's about to hit? Did you like it or?
It really showed us a different side of Cody.
A little more violent.
A little more violent side of him.
Yeah.
We always got to remember, Cody is still violent with what he does.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe it could lead up to a heel Cody. I don't know. But
maybe.
I don't think we're going to see much of AJ Styles after this, though.
Really?
Yeah.
What's he gonna? Is he gonna retire?
I feel like either that, or they're just gonna like take away a little bit of screen time from him and have him like build back up. You know,
Take a little bit of a break.
maybe.
But yeah, I thought it was a fine match for the most part. I don't know how crazy I was about the finish, but it is what it is. Second match was the women's tag match.
It was.
Probably our first big upset of the night.
We were wrong about the winners.
Alba Fire and Isla Dawn are the new women's tag team
You know,
champions.
it makes sense though because they have to have at least one. Like,
I was telling you, yeah. After we made our picks, I went back and I was thinking that after a few days, I was like, this show's in Scotland. We didn't pick one single Scottish wrestler to win, and you would think that they're all going to be the favorites throughout the entire night. So you would think at least one would win. And in this case, it was Isla Dawn and Alba Fire.
Emotional moment for them as well.
Yes, big win. Congrats to them. It's good to finally see them get some spotlight. They kind of popped up here and there for over the last year.
They just kind of showed up in this little match out of nowhere, you know.
Pick up the win.
Hey.
Tag champs.
What can I say?
What can I say?
But
Yeah, and we saw some mishaps with Jade Cargill taking a spill off the top rope. I think I had heard, they were slick a bit, and people were having issues throughout the whole night.
yeah. But to be honest, though, that was a solid match.
Solid
it was
match.
really quick but solid.
Yeah. And give it up for like Shayna Baszler and Zoe Stark. I mean, they did fantastic as well.
All of them did great.
All those women. Where does Jade Cargill go from here? Money in the Bank?
I say Money in the Bank or championship run here.
Yeah.
It would be fun to see her in the Money in the Bank match.
I'm excited. I think this Money in the Bank, these two Money in the Bank matches, the women and men's, will be better than last year's.
I agree.
I think looking at the potential superstars in the match, just with the women, you got Jade Cargill, Tiffany Stratton, Damage Control, any one of those women in that match. On and on. Shayna Baszler, Zoe Stark. Yeah. Men's, you got Jey Uso. You got people like LA Knight. You got people like Solo Sikoa, Randy Orton.
Yeah.
Drew McIntyre, potentially.
We'll see.
But yes, new women's tag team champions. Congrats to them.
Yeah. Next match is Sami Zayn and
Sami Zayn, another
Chad Gable.
huge upset.
Upset.
We were, I feel like 90% of America was, if not the world, was thinking Chad Gable was going to do it tonight or that night.
But once again,
Sami Zayn won.
Otis. Maxine Dupree cost him the match. I mean, it was
Chad Gable ran into Maxine.
He ran into Maxine.
She was dealing with that injury. And where was Tozawa?
Tozawa was too much of a failure. He couldn't be brought out tonight.
Tozawa. We expect more out of him. He's got potential. If he would just listen to Coach Gable, he'd be probably WWE champion by now. But anyways, eventually Otis picks up Maxine, carries her to the back, and Chad Gable's just distracted, and Sami Zayn takes control, hits a haluva kick, and wins. And they say that's it for Chad Gable and Intercontinental title shots against Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn's like, you're done. That was the last one.
I think we're about to see the Creed brothers. I thought they were going to come tonight, but not tonight, but that night.
That night.
Yeah.
They could be tonight.
It
Monday
could be
Raw.
tonight. Could.
I feel like it's going to be one of those. I still think Gable will be champ by the end of the year, Intercontinental Champion. It may be like a Cody Rhodes situation where we're going to look back and be like, well, maybe him not winning was the right call.
Yeah.
In the long run. Next match was the WWE Women's Championship between Piper Niven and Bayley.
I think we all expected he was going to win this.
Yes. Piper Niven was definitely the favorite.
Yeah.
And you even heard some boos with Bayley. You heard a little bit from the crowd. Chelsea Green.
Annoying, but that's what she's there
but
for.
Annoying and entertaining at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
She gets tries to get involved, ends up getting kicked out, and then some random match luchador comes down. I don't know who was under the mask.
Some
random chick. It couldn't have been Chelsea Green because she got sent to the back.
Yeah.
There's no way it could have been her. But 2 distractions still didn't help because in the end, Bayley picks up the W.
Yeah.
Still women's champion.
It was expected, you know. There's not really.
Hey,
I'm kind of glad Bayley won, though. Like, even though that crowd would have been hyped,
yeah.
I don't know. I don't think Piper's the right position for that, to take it from her.
Yeah. I still think it's going to be Tiffany Stratton.
Yeah.
Like Money in the Bank.
Definitely. That I'm calling it now. It's going to be Tiffany with the Money in the Bank.
Yeah. He's a bet. Definitely.
If she doesn't win the Money in the Bank, then they lost an opportunity there. Unless they're trying to surprise us.
Yeah.
Cause,
see, we were talking about the other week where we felt like the Clash at the Castle was going to be way too predictable.
Yeah.
And we wanted some surprises. We got some surprises.
We got like 3 or 4 wrong.
Yeah.
So the only ones we were right about was Cody and Bayley.
I think, didn't we both pick Damian Priest to win? I think so. Because we didn't pick any Scottish wrestlers to win.
That's right.
So I think we got 3 out of 5, which is not bad. That's more than half.
But for a show that looks predictable, that's pretty sad.
Yeah.
But anyways, after that match, we get the
main event.
The main event.
The World Heavyweight Championship.
Just want to point out, Drew McIntyre's entrance was.
Whew.
That was it.
You heard that crowd. If you watch some of like the pre-show stuff before, when they were talking about the match and hyping it up, you heard whenever Drew McIntyre's name was mentioned or his picture was on the screen, you heard that crowd go wild.
Yeah.
They were there for Drew McIntyre, and once his music hit, they went nuts. That crowd was hyped for him.
You know, it's really weird to see Damian Priest in a match once again with nobody in his corner at all.
Yeah. Hey, he had the chance. He had the chance, but then Drew McIntyre would beat Finn Balor.
Somehow he still wins with an interference, which is the funny part.
Well, we're gonna get to the interference in a little bit. I got a lot to say.
I know you have a lot to say.
But the match as a whole was pretty good.
Great match.
Back and forth, other than Damian Priest nearly getting his leg cut off by the ropes, which was scary.
Which props to Damian for still going on with the match with the.
I don't know how much it really hurt. It may look worse than it actually was, because he just he jumps through the top and middle rope.
Yeah.
Trying to do like a suicide dive to Drew McIntyre outside the ring, and just gets caught, and the rope instantly just wraps around his ankle and just pulls him down.
He was like limping after that as well, so I know it hurt, but
Yeah.
I don't think it's a career-threatening injury though.
No.
Not a career or
And
I'm sure
Damian Priest was putting up a fight. I mean, he was kicking out before the interference. He was kicking out of claymores and future shocks and spine busters and all that stuff.
Another thing to point out, that referee went flying.
That referee took a hard bump.
Well, first of all, he dodged the first thing, which was into the corner.
Which give him props for that too. He got some reflexes. He was out of there like.
I was like,
nobody's
okay,
business.
maybe he wasn't supposed to be there. But then after he got hit from the ropes,
went absolutely flying.
I think he had more hops than Akira Tozawa right there. That was crazy.
Yeah.
But
then Drew McIntyre hits another claymore.
Another claymore for like a 10 count.
Goes for the pin. There's no ref. Soon a ref jumps in, and I saw the back of his head. I saw that hair slicked back.
I knew as soon as that ref was like knocked out, I was like, CM Punk's gonna return somehow.
And there
here came the ref, and I was like,
and he stops and he does the peace sign. Remember, it's a Drew McIntyre shirt that he had.
Yeah.
Little peace sign. If I was Drew McIntyre, the next time I see CM Punk, I am kicking his head off.
I know, but that's what he's been trying to do.
Twice, Drew McIntyre would be World Heavyweight Champion. 2 times over.
Also want to point out, I think it's getting really close to CM Punk being cleared to compete.
Yeah, he said he's not going to be on Raw, but he will be on SmackDown, which is in Chicago, his hometown.
Which is awesome.
He said Raw tonight, he's at the doctor and maybe potentially getting close to being cleared. SmackDown, he's going to address the crowd. If I was Drew, I'd be showing up on SmackDown.
I'm telling you right now, SummerSlam, we're probably having a Drew and CM Punk battle.
It's going to be a banger.
And I'm going to predict this now. WrestleMania, we're getting a CM Punk and Seth Rollins match.
Ooh. I saw something about a triple threat match potentially.
That could be sick.
CM Punk, Seth Rollins, and Drew McIntyre.
I was thinking maybe like Seth Rollins would win the Royal Rumble, maybe. So CM Punk got the main event he wanted, but he didn't get it from the Royal Rumble.
Didn't get it from the Royal Rumble.
That would be. I don't know. We'll see.
But does he deserve it for all the stuff he's putting Drew McIntyre through?
Oh, he deserves it.
CM Punk deserves it, or Drew McIntyre deserves everything? Drew McIntyre deserves to be world champion. No doubt about it.
Yeah. Except that he kept making mistakes, and then this one wasn't actually his mistake. It was.
You know, when people say CM Punk is a cancer, maybe they're on to something.
You know, Drew wouldn't have to worry about any of this if he just didn't go up to CM Punk after the WrestleMania event.
CM Punk was there as a commentator, not a wrestler or as an enforcer or anything. At WrestleMania, he should not have gotten involved. I don't care if Drew McIntyre's in his... Did you see Drew McIntyre put his hands on CM Punk? Did he put his hands on him? I don't think he did. I may not have the best memory in the world, but I remember all Drew McIntyre did was say, "Hey, I'm champion." And CM Punk could have just walked away and been the bigger man and walked away. But no, he got involved. Same with that Clash of the Castle. He kept sticking his... He flew all the way from the States to Scotland just so that he can cost a guy a world title. It's like AJ Styles. Remember when Elimination Chamber, when he flew all the way to Australia just to cost LA Knight a chance at the world title? Same thing. He paid all that money just to fly over to Scotland. Cost Drew McIntyre, who should be world champion. That crowd was not happy at the end of that night. They were booing Samantha out, and you know it's bad when they're booing Samantha.
Poor Samantha. She didn't
do anything.
Did you see the dude flipping off?
He was constantly flipping CM Punk off.
Yeah. I knew exactly who you were thinking of when you said that. But there you go, folks. There's Tyler's rant of the episode about Drew McIntyre.
I might burn my CM Punk shirt.
I just want to point this out. This is the first episode you're not wearing a wrestling shirt.
Yeah, I wore this to work, and then I came over here.
Yeah.
Van Halen.
That's all right.
Nothing wrong with Van Halen. Nothing wrong with Van Halen.
What can I say?
What can I say, dog?
All right. Clash of the Castle, scale 1 to 10. What do you rate the show? I give it a 7.
7.
I give it a 7.
6 or 7.
It would have been like a 6 or a 5 if the matches were like predictable, like as we thought.
But there were some upsets.
There's some upsets in there
we weren't expecting.
Yeah.
The women's tag match as well as the Intercontinental Championship match, both.
Just want to point out we don't have like very many new champions lately. Like every single big pay-per-view, there's a lot of like, oh, they won again.
They retained.
Yeah.
We got one. We got one the other night.
Every single time I see a match with Cody Rhodes in it, I almost want to skip it every time.
Because you just... And I'd like to point out, we didn't mention Bloodline attacking Cody Rhodes.
That's right. And Randy Orton and Kevin Owens
came for the save. And did you see, I don't know if you saw, Randy Orton eyeballing that WWE Championship a little. Could that be the SummerSlam match? And maybe they're saving Cody versus Rock for Mania?
You know, I really hope they don't, because we'll know if we know Cody will win, you know? Mm-hmm. With The Rock.
There's a possibility.
I'd love to see a Cody Rhodes versus Rock match even more if there wasn't for a championship.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
Because then you really don't know who could win.
Yeah.
It could go either way.
It could go either way if that's the case. I mean, I'm still going to predict Cody will win that match.
Yeah.
But there's a chance.
I have seen a lot of things. It could be Randy Orton versus Cody Rhodes at SummerSlam.
That's what's up. I like that.
That's what the streets are saying.
That's what the streets are saying. You know, you can't always believe the streets.
Can't always believe the streets, but sometimes there is truth with the streets.
Uncle Howdy was going to return a Backlash.
And it didn't happen.
And
according to the streets, he's returning tonight.
He is. That's not even the streets. That's him telling us.
So if he doesn't return, what are you going to do? If he just throws us for a curveball.
Next episode, you know how we're supposed to do a punishment because we're wrong about those matches?
Yeah.
Next episode, I'll be the only one that does the punishment.
Ooh, if he doesn't return.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that means that we'll have to do the wheel next episode.
Yeah. Okay. I'll hold you to it. I won't forget.
Yes, you will. I'm telling you, it's happening.
It's happening.
Do you want to go over the shows for for Raw and SmackDown before Clash of the Castle, or do you want
No, I mean, we kind of did it in the beginning a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, it was all hyped up stuff. NXT, I'm trying to remember. Cody Rhodes was there, and he announced that I'm going to get it wrong. It's like 20 or 25-man Battle Royal or something.
something like that?
And winner will face Trick Williams for the NXT Championship. And it's going to have people from multiple locker rooms. So that could be Raw, that could be SmackDown, NXT.
Akira Tozawa.
That could even mean TNA.
That would be sick.
If
that happens,
I've heard there could be some TNA wrestlers there.
that would be sick. I would love to see
That'll
that.
be Tuesday, this Tuesday.
Yeah.
And you know who's on TNA now? We got Matt Hardy. I guess who recently just made their return to TNA. Jeff Hardy. Hardy Boys back in the WWE ring on NXT, fighting for an NXT championship shot. Why not? Have a little fun with it.
Why not? You know? But we'll see.
We'll see. That's tomorrow, NXT.
I'm hyped.
I'm very hyped.
WWE is cool again.
It is.
Wrestling's cool again.
Another segment from NXT that I kind of enjoyed, and maybe you've seen some stuff about it, was there was a backstage segment between Cody Rhodes, Shawn Spears, Lexis King, and Ethan Page.
Mm-hmm.
All four former members of AEW.
They definitely did that.
Yeah, Cody Rhodes had the title with them. He looks at all of them. They're all kind of smiling. It was nothing like heel or anything. It was all just they're joking around. And Cody says, "You guys seem like you're where you're supposed to be."
Mm.
And I was like, "Oh my gosh!"
Chills.
Cody Rhodes, a former EVP of AEW. All those guys, former AEW superstars, didn't really get where maybe they wanted to in AEW. Came over to the WWE. Now they're flourishing.
Yep.
Flourishing.
But yeah, that's our recaps.
Clash of the Castle.
W
show, I would say, for the most part, other than CM Punk sticking his nose where it doesn't belong.
I do want to say that Sami Zayn, during his entrance, we see Uncle Howdy tease.
Yeah, I haven't seen exactly what that was.
I didn't watch it, I will say. But apparently it's like more about revealing who's in the faction, what's going to happen. All this, it's just leading up to Raw. Mm-hmm. It just everything about June 17th. Yeah. It's going to be hype.
It's going to be hype.
I'm ready for it.
What was I going to say? I don't remember. Keep going.
Okay. If you don't want to know who's going to be in this faction... Oh, wait. Are you posting this today?
I'll probably post it today.
Okay. If you don't want to hear the faction, I'd skip a little bit. But apparently... I'm going to say the names now. Apparently it's supposed to be Uncle Howdy, Eric Rowan, Joe Gacy...
Dexter
Loomis, and Nikki Cross. It's those five.
So is it?
It's everyone we expected, really.
We were maybe expecting Alexa Bliss, but maybe that's in the future. Maybe we could see her get involved in the future.
I feel like it would bring more hype to the group if it was later.
Yeah.
For her.
Yeah.
You know, like
because she could really have her own story, like that connects with it. You know, where they kind of all come together in their story together. Alexa Bliss kind of comes in on her own.
Yeah. Oh, whoops. But anyways, I'm very hyped for it. You know.
Yeah.
I have to work today, so I can't watch it live.
Yeah.
But as soon as I get home, watching through the entire show because I'm ready. I'm staying away from YouTube. I'm staying away from everything. I'm not
staying away from the socials.
Staying away from the socials. But
who do they go after first? What is their first storyline?
You know, I was thinking.
Does it even kick off tonight like a storyline against another person or group, or is it just them making their return?
It could be Final Testament. You know, it could be New Day.
I still think it should be the New Testament. I think they should form a super group.
That would be sick.
I think that'd be hilarious.
The New Testament.
The New Testament. I'm calling it. I'm calling it right now. Could you imagine Xavier Woods, Kofi Kingston?
You know,
Authors of Pain.
It could go either way. I don't think it should be Judgment Day because what's already going on in their group.
Yeah, they got a lot of stuff going on.
I don't think it should be Sami Zayn yet, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking maybe Alpha Academy. Maybe that's like the next move for them. But I doubt it because they're probably gonna have some stuff with Chad Gable.
Mm-hmm. Where does Damian Priest go from here after Clash of the Castle?
You know, I think it's probably setting up for.
Are we gonna really start gearing up for SummerSlam? Because
Yeah.
that's in a couple of months.
Setting up for Gunther, maybe setting up for the.
I forgot Gunther gets the world title at SummerSlam.
Yeah,
I forgot about that.
he gets the championship match. Uncle Howdy, he could go anywhere.
Yeah.
You know, I'll be fine with anything.
We still got Money in the Bank coming up. That's what comes first before SummerSlam. So we're gonna see. I would expect maybe some Money in the Bank qualifying matches or something coming up.
Yeah, definitely.
Stuff like that.
Ilya Dragunov
Lyra
will probably-
Valkyria. It definitely. Speaking of Lyra Valkyria, with Becky Lynch gone, who knows if she's ever going to come back to WWE? She's not under contract. Seems like they're really pushing for Lyra Valkyria to be the next Becky Lynch,
Yeah.
the next the main woman of the face of the women's division.
Definitely. Especially if they're pushing her in the champion.
They
Queen of the Ring.
Yeah, they put her all the way to the finals in the Queen of the Ring.
Yeah. But
And then I'm expecting we'll get Bayley versus Nia Jax at SummerSlam.
Yeah. And I feel like whoever wins that match, the Mrs. Money in the Bank will go over there. And
Here's the thing. Out of both of the King of the Ring and Queen of the Ring final winners, both getting championship matches at SummerSlam, you have to think the likelihood is at least one of them is gonna win.
Yeah. I think Gunther will win.
You think Gunther will win? You think
I think so.
he's the one. You think he'll beat Damian Priest, or do you think Priest will even be champion by that point? Do you think Money in the Bank will get involved?
I'd love to see someone else against Gunther. Like, all respect to Damian Priest, he's great. Mm-hmm. But with everything going on, the Judgment Day and stuff right now, I just don't think he fits in that picture of going against Gunther.
You know what I would like to see? Hear me out. Gunther wins world title at SummerSlam.
Yeah.
I'm going to say he takes it all the way to Mania.
Okay.
All the way. Royal Rumble. Ilya Dragunov picks up the W.
Okay.
So we got potential one of the night main events of WrestleMania.
That would be sick. Yeah.
Gunther versus Ilya Dragunov for the World Heavyweight Championship.
I feel like they'll go for that. Maybe.
We're definitely going to see Gunther versus Ilya Dragunov.
At some point.
At some point.
Yeah.
Because everybody wants that rematch. Because they had the matches back in NXT and they were bangers. Everybody wants to see it.
And speaking of Gunther, I want to ask, what is the next move for Giovanni Vinci in SmackDown?
See, we haven't seen him. You think they're going to repackage him as something new?
Maybe. That's probably the best idea. Because we don't know what his persona is going to be after this.
I was really... That was probably potentially the biggest pick from the draft that really threw me off.
Yeah.
I was like, okay.
Yeah.
Because I was like, even though they kicked him out of Imperium, I was like, maybe they're going to face off a few times, and that'll maybe to help kind of carry Gunther over to SummerSlam.
Yeah.
But no, they sent him over to SmackDown. We haven't seen him since.
We'll see.
Yeah. Maybe he'll grow hair by that point. I don't know.
I just want to expect the unexpected.
Yeah. I could see them repackaging him as like a new gimmick, a new persona.
Yeah. I feel like that's the best move.
Yeah.
Best move.
Another new persona I could see happening when he returns is Seth Rollins.
Yeah, definitely.
I think because we've seen the Gucci side of Seth Rollins' gimmick for a while. I think maybe it's time.
Time for a new Seth Rollins.
Yeah.
Maybe like a architect Seth Rollins again. I don't know, but I think he could pull off anything. So I'm just ready for it. You know, I'm along for the ride.
Yeah.
But yeah, what do you think we're gonna do with Braun Breaker?
Braun Breaker. So put Ricochet through a car window.
Yeah.
Potentially could be the last time we've seen
Last
Ricochet.
time we see Ricochet.
That's the word on the streets.
Yeah.
Which again, let's just give up. Thank you for Ricochet.
Thank you for all the moments.
Human highlight reel. Hopefully one day we see him back in a WWE ring. I hope he does well wherever he goes, whatever he does.
Which I'm sure he will. I'm sure he will.
Braun Breaker is just absolutely insane.
Mm-hmm.
I could see him being put in the Money in the Bank ladder match.
It could happen.
I think he would go nuts there. I could just see him running around the ring, just bulldozing all the people in the ladder match. I mean,
he could be Mr. Money in the Bank.
They might have him feud off with Ilya Dragunov, who as well could also be in the Money in the Bank ladder match. Have them kind of feud together while they're gearing up for.
Whenever they said like Massacre is coming, I feel like it's gonna be like two like separate like opposing like groups or people.
Yeah.
Against each other. Maybe it could be those two, just them two like fighting each other or something. Then Pitch Black, Uncle Howdy returns. But I feel like with Braun Breaker, I feel like his next move is not the main championship, but maybe like the Intercontinental Championship, in my opinion. Tag team championships right now for Raw. I feel like it's time for something new down there.
Yeah, they've been doing the whole fun with Truth and Miz, which is great.
They're
It's
fun.
fun, but it's getting kind of old, and
We need something more.
something new. Where does it go? Who takes the titles off of? Maybe it's Uncle Howdy's group.
Yeah, maybe Eric Rowan and like Joe Gacy or something.
Joe
like
Gacy
that.
or some combination there.
Have we seen Joe Gacy on NXT at all?
No, I think the last we saw was maybe. Didn't he have a match with Sean Spears
A while back.
at Stand and Deliver back in
Yeah.
like April?
So
And I think he won that, but then I think they were kind of gearing him,
they're
getting him ready.
But yeah, what I'm thinking right now for Raw, we need some change.
Yeah.
I don't know. In some sort of area. SmackDown, change in the United States division.
He's LA Knight. I mean,
We got to see that.
he was they had a video package. It was him at Logan Paul's house, just chilling in his pool.
Mm-hmm.
Logan Paul gets there, and he's like, "Get out of here!" And he's like, "Oh, sorry, man. I was waiting for. I thought we'd hang out." Definitely seems like we're gearing up for SummerSlam.
Yeah.
Logan Paul versus LA Knight, and that's going to be a banger. I think everybody has been looking forward to that match since Money in the Bank last year, when they were kind of going off on each other promos in a little bit. I think people were looking forward to a match like that.
Whoever wins the Money in the Bank, I really am looking forward to them cashing that in, ASAP. I don't want them to hold it.
Who
as
wins
long as
it?
they
Who do you
refuse.
got winning? I really think this is Jey Uso's moment.
Jey Uso, maybe.
I really think Jey Uso could be the one.
Jey Uso, Dragunov, maybe.
Dragunov, Braun Breaker.
Braun Breaker.
I mean,
who's going to be on the SmackDown side?
well, I imagine LA Knight.
Probably.
Because I feel like potentially they're going to put Logan Paul in there too.
Yeah.
But I think they're going to save that one-on-one for SummerSlam.
SummerSlam, yeah.
But you got people like Randy Orton, AJ Styles maybe, Solo Sikoa.
I feel like we'll see at least one person from the Bloodline in that match.
I think they're going to put Solo. I think Solo will be in the Money in the Bank ladder match.
Yeah. And speaking of Solo, the Bloodline, what is next for them? Are we going to see Roman Reigns come back for
we're getting
maybe
close.
WrestleMania?
Give him. I think he'll be back for SummerSlam.
Really?
Yeah.
I could see it. The Rock.
Because the whole Kevin Owens and Randy Orton, it's growing old because we've been seeing them versus Kevin Owens for 4 years now. Feels like, and I think everybody wants to see what Kevin Owens calls the bootleg bloodline against the real bloodline, and I could see that maybe being Roman Reigns, Jey Uso, and Jimmy.
That would be sick because Roman didn't kick Jimmy out. We haven't seen Jimmy since he got kicked out.
And especially if we you could see, what was it, at Backlash, they had the backstage segment with Paul Heyman, just kind of looking at Jay. I don't know if they said anything, I can't remember. But kind of just looking at each other and being like, okay. Almost as if Paul Heyman was asking for help.
Yeah.
And if Solo and Jay are both in the Money in the Bank ladder match, you could see other bootleg bloodline members getting involved and costing Jay.
Yeah, with all the bloodline, I feel like that's just their own little story going on right now. I'd love to see like a Roman Reigns versus Solo at Mania. I think that's setting up for that maybe, or SummerSlam.
Yeah.
But with Roman Reigns, I hope it happens somewhat soon.
Or hear me out. We got bootleg bloodline. We got original bloodline. Survivor Series. War Games.
I would love that.
That would be sick.
I love that.
And especially, there's been a lot of rumors about another member of the bloodline coming along potentially.
I heard about that, yeah.
So that would make it 4. So then, hypothetically, if you have Roman Reigns and the Usos, who's the 4th one? I say you bring in Sammy.
Bring in Sammy.
Bring in Sammy. The OG Usi. Sammy Uso. 4-on-4 War Games. Potentially. It's possible.
Yeah.
There's been worse ideas.
We'll see.
What can I say?
And speaking of Survivor Series, like, I'm guessing I already know what your answer is going to be, but do you want to see that Raw versus SmackDown again, or do you want to see something else?
I've always I don't know. I always enjoy the more rivalry-based team against team. You know, like last year we had the Judgment Day versus all the other guys.
I feel like the only time I really enjoyed like Raw versus SmackDown Survivor Series is whenever they like invade each other's shows and stuff.
Yeah, I remember I had a little fun, especially when there was like
NXT.
They had NXT, so it was all 3 against each other, and
that was sick.
Yeah, it was like Triple H was leading the NXT team.
That was with like Rhea Ripley.
Yeah, you had Adam Cole.
Cole, yeah.
Baby.
Didn't NXT win that one as well?
They won at least one of them, I think.
Yeah,
they did it a couple times.
Yeah,
they did a couple years. I think NXT might have won at least one.
Yeah, I think that's the one with Rhea Ripley.
Maybe.
Yeah. But speaking of all this Survivor Series stuff, what is like a show that you would love to see? Just like a Hell in a Cell? You want to see like an
You mean like a PLE event?
I want to see like an Extreme Rules.
An Extreme Rules. I mean, I would love, because TLC matches can be really fun.
That would be fun.
They can be crazy and violent because you're getting you're getting all kinds of stuff. So TLC, but I've never, and this is just personally me, I've never been the craziest fan of PLEs that are named after matches.
That's fair.
I would just have an Extreme Rules match, which there's all kinds of, there's Extreme Rules, there's no holds bars, unsanctioned, they all mean the same thing. But I would love to see like a TLC, because I feel like we haven't seen TLC in a little while.
That's fair.
The only exception I would make is like Royal Rumble or like Elimination Chamber.
Yeah.
Yeah. That kind of does it for our show reviews. I mean, I think we've hit on just about anything.
Yeah. Let us know what you think. Just like about anything.
What do you think of Clash at the Castle? What do you think's gonna be happening with the Uncle Howdy storyline?
Mm-hmm.
All that stuff. Money in the Bank.
Watch like him like not return, and then someone, as soon as that happens, like comment on the video. Oh, I don't think he's gonna return.
Oh, I don't think he's gonna
It's
return.
like 10:01 whenever the comment was released.
Yeah. They show timestamps.
Yeah.
You ain't slick. You ain't slick.
You ain't slick.
But that's gonna take us to our 3 match reviews for the week. It was your picks.
We had Stone Cold and Bret Hart.
Mm-hmm.
We had Mankind and Undertaker.
Yes.
And Andre the Giant Hulk Hogan.
Yes.
We'll go ahead and start with the best match, in my opinion. Stone Cold and Bret Hart.
Yeah.
Great match.
This
Submission
was
match.
Insane. I mean, because this was before... I mean, Stone Cold was Stone Cold, but he hadn't, like, gotten to his heights yet. Still.
Yeah.
He was... But this gave you an idea of who this guy was.
This is the prideful Stone Cold that will never tap out.
Yeah, it's like this. Everybody saw like this is the next guy.
Mm-hmm.
This guy's going to be a star. And it was bloody. It was violent. Yeah, like you said,
the steel chair.
Used.
The leg was being targeted.
Yeah, Stone Cold just refusing to give up.
It got to the point where he just passed out, and that's how he lost.
Yeah.
the figure 4 leg lock on like the post.
Oh yeah, yeah.
That looked like it sucked for him.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, the blood on Stone Cold's face showed a lot as well.
It showed like the hatred of these two men.
One thing I loved about this match is that crowds are cheering for both guys.
Yeah, they really didn't know who to cheer for.
There wasn't a fan favorite.
Because Bret Hart was like, I mean, especially there in the early 90s and such, early to mid 90s, he was the guy. He was the crowd favorite. He was Bret the Hitman Hart. Everybody loved him. And Stone Cold came in, and he was almost the exact opposite of what Bret Hart was, you know? And the crowd loved both sides of both of these guys. And seeing them clash was like a dream match for everybody.
Yeah. What was like your big takeaways from the match? Like big things.
I mean, it showed that Stone Cold
was him. Yeah, he's the next guy.
Even though he lost, I mean, he almost gained just as much as Bret Hart did from winning.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and that set the stage for the Attitude Era. Stone Cold being the guy going up against people like Vince McMahon, The Rock,
all these guys,
Undertaker,
yeah,
DX, all the guys, Shawn Michaels. Yeah. What about you?
For me, really, it just explained what that era looked like at the time. Like this is like the definition of this era.
It definitely seemed like almost like a transition of eras.
Yeah.
Because we were coming out of the Hulk Hogan era. Hulk Hogan, was the guy for 20 years.
Yeah, the main event was Undertaker versus Sid, I'm pretty sure, for that.
Psycho Sid. Yeah.
I think it was that for that Mania.
Mm-hmm.
And
yeah, it was definitely because... What year was this? Was this 95?
WrestleMania 13.
Was this 95?
27 years ago. 97 or 90... Wait. 97, right?
No, I don't think it was not... Because 97... Was that... Maybe it was 97.
Might have been. Something around that area.
Yeah, because Hogan had already left by this point, I think. Gone to WCW, maybe.
Something like that.
But my point is, it was a transition era.
Yeah.
Transition time. All these new guys were coming into play.
Great match. 5 out of 5 star.
5 out of 5 star. I even think they got to let you... Did they let you play the match in the new game?
That match?
Or was it... They did one...
That was for Stone Cold's showcase.
Okay. They also may have done it for... Was it 2K14 when they did the 30 years of WrestleMania? Yeah. I feel like maybe they did Stone Cold and Bret Hart for that WrestleMania.
But yeah.
Which, honestly, those games with those modes is how I learned a lot about the old stuff. Honestly, I remember in WWE 13, their game mode for that year was the Attitude Era. So that's where I learned all about the Attitude Era, was playing that game.
Yeah. And
be like, oh, this is what happened back in the late 90s.
That's how I learned about Stone Cold and all that stuff when I played 16.
Yeah.
All the people Dude Love, Mankind, all these guys and stuff.
Like, who are these guys?
Ricky Steamboat.
Yeah.
Stunning Steve Austin.
Stunning Steve Austin before he was Stone Cold.
It's crazy. Time goes.
Time flies. It is crazy to think when I started watching wrestling how much things are different.
Yeah.
Even when you started watching wrestling, things are so different. The stars that are now big time. I mean, Damian Priest is a main event star. Jey Uso.
The only very few guys are still high then, high now is Seth Rollins and
AJ Styles,
and
Randy Orton, Kevin Owens.
Yeah.
And even by when you were starting was when Kevin Owens was kind of
That's whenever he was rising up.
Yeah.
That was I think it was right after he beat John Cena.
Yeah.
With his NXT title, and he moved up to
main
roster stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, next match we have Mankind and Undertaker.
Hell in a Cell. The second Hell in a Cell match after the Taker and Shawn Michaels one.
Yeah.
So we've talked about the Taker and Shawn Michaels one before on the pod. And that was a pretty violent match. So this one had to find a way to live up to the expectations that the first one set.
First of all, we start on top.
Yeah, they were just we're going on top.
Yeah. Mankind brings the chair with him as well. First of all, right at the beginning, throwing off the cage onto the table.
The historic Jim Ross is there saying he's dead.
Yeah.
And if you ever have the time, there's so many interviews between like Taker and Mick Foley, Mankind, talking about this match and how it was as violent as it looked. I mean, Mick Foley, I know at some point, because we see him get carted off.
And he gets,
right back up. And was it the cage started to rise or something?
Something. Yeah, they thought it was over.
Taker's still on top of the cage.
They were acting like the match was over.
And he gets up and he gets back on the cage. And they start going at it again. Mankind's already been broken in half once.
Choke slammed off through the cage.
The cage to the ring. And was it at that point where Mick Foley said like one of his a tooth of his went up through his mouth.
Yeah.
And like got lodged in his nose or something. And like it was as violent as it looked.
You saw like the blood in his mouth.
The blood was coming out of his mouth.
That was real blood. You could tell.
Yeah. They were I mean, I think Mick Foley was concussed by that point.
I mean, people always say like, "Oh, wrestling's fake" and all this stuff, but I'm like,
these guys are getting hurt.
It's scripted, but this stuff is real.
This stuff hurts. Getting thrown off of a cage is. I don't care what you're landing on. It's gonna hurt a little bit.
Of course, it's like scripted that he was supposed to get choke slammed like through the thing, or like thrown off the thing, but it still hurt. Like, there's no way you're just gonna say, "Oh, it's fake." He fell off a 30-foot cage.
Yeah,
you know?
I would have loved to have been in the room just to listen to these guys before the match talk about what they're going to go out and do. And what that conversation is like and how you approach it. Because how do you rehearse it? You don't rehearse it.
Definitely
you go for it and hope for the best.
It went well for them.
Yeah.
But yeah, we see like the tacks come out. We see the steel steps being used. All this stuff. That
brings me. I forgot to mention. Just kind of throwing back to Clash at the Castle real quick. Rhodes and Styles match. They bring the chain out. And first it was in a bag. I 100% thought it was tacks in there. I was like, there's no way. There's no way they're going to use the tacks. Because I can't remember the last time
it's been a minute.
WWE specifically used thumbtacks.
I can't
remember.
They like stopped doing it because like PG era.
PG era. I was like, dude, if we're bringing back the tacks, I am all for this.
Triple H should have done that.
Yeah, but that's just what made me.
Yeah.
You mentioned that one made me think of it. But yeah, the tacks came into play, and was it a choke slam onto the tacks?
Choke slam, and then Tombstone, and that ended the match.
There. I mean,
I thought it would have ended the match.
It was very different from the first Hell in a Cell match, but in a good way.
From the first one, Shawn Michaels was just getting beat up the entire time.
Yeah, you know? They were both good, but kind of in their own way.
Yeah,
which I think was what was important.
Great match. Just want to point out, Undertaker was in both of those. Undertaker is the definition.
He's the man.
Yeah,
he's him.
Last match, it was
taking it back to the '80s. Andre the Giant, Hulk Hogan, WrestleMania 3.
Just want to say, Andre the Giant is huge.
Yeah.
Hulk Hogan.
Yeah.
You've seen him in the Rocky movie and how the sizes compare there. He's like up here.
To even just to Sylvester Stallone.
And Andre the Giant is like up here.
Up here.
Dude,
yeah.
Imagine just being in that building on the front row seat and you just see Andre the Giant get up in that ring. Like, that's crazy.
And we get the body slam heard around the world.
Yes.
Hulk Hogan picks him up.
I feel like
slams him down.
This match wasn't like very like action packed, but like the crowd and everything, like the moment of it just carried it.
And what I kind of like when we go back to like the 80s and even 90s is you can compare almost like each decade. The flow of matches are so different because the times were so different. An 80s style match, WrestleMania match, is very different from a 90s WrestleMania match, from a 2000s, 2010s, 2020s WrestleMania match. Just the flow of it.
This match is completely different than like Seth Rollins and Drew McIntyre.
Yeah.
Or Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes.
Yeah.
But they still both have the same like ratings. Like they're still like both like just as good as each other.
Yeah. Did you know about the body slam heard around the world, Hulk Hogan?
Yeah.
They talk about it all the time.
I mean, how can you not? He picked up like how much pounds did Andre
a lot.
Like
I don't
700
know.
or something like that?
Yeah. Supposedly this wasn't the first time Andre had been picked up and slammed. I guess it had happened before, but it wasn't as prominent and famous as this one. This one was the famous one.
Hulk Hogan already tried it once at the beginning of the match and hurt his back. But yeah, as soon as like during like the bear hug, and Hogan like gets his arm up like this, and he's just like
Hogan knew how to work the crowd.
Yeah,
he was the best at it.
That crowd was going nuts.
Mm-hmm. Hulk Hogan was the guy for like 20 years.
Great match.
Insane.
Great match. So we're not going to do the top 10s today.
No, not today. But I do have my 3 matches for this next week. I decided, let's give a little appreciation to the bloodline. More specifically, our tribal chief, Roman Reigns.
Okay.
So we're going to do 3 matches from his historic title reign.
Okay.
First match is Roman Reigns versus Jey Uso at Clash of the Champions.
That's like the first like.
This is one of his first ones. Maybe his first one.
That was when like Jey Uso
in 2020. So we're going back to the pandemic era.
Yeah.
Thunderdome.
I remember this. Yeah.
Second match is Roman Reigns versus Drew McIntyre at Clash at the Castle. The one where Solo Sikoa gets involved and makes his debut.
Yeah. And I feel like that really set up a lot for Drew as well. 3,
we're going to Elimination Chamber 2023. Roman Reigns versus Sami Zayn. When they say, let me cook, they mean to let me cook. All right? They don't call me Magic Tyler for nothing. Let me cook.
There you go.
3 solid matches.
There's your homework.
Homework assignments for these next week.
But yeah, that's our show. We'll go ahead and get the punishment for next time. We'll get our top 10 in definitely next time.
Yes.
We're probably gonna record Saturday, if that's all right with you. Saturday.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
But yeah, we're so glad you listened to us. Let us know anything you want to say. Let us know any constructive criticism.
Yeah.
Let us know like what different types of segments you want us to go over. You want us to touch a little more on the recaps and stuff like we did today.
Did a lot of recap stuff.
A lot of stuff, just like talking about what we think is going to go on.
We didn't really focus so much on like going in order of shows. We're kind of like, all right, what's really stuck out to us?
Do you like that better, or do you like us doing just like
go through Raw,
NXT
match,
yeah.
NXT match.
Let us know what you guys like.
You, the people,
and if you don't let us know,
we're just gonna assume you like it this way.
Yeah, because I liked it this way.
I liked it this way.
Someone's calling me on my phone, so that's probably my sign to get out
That's
of
our
here.
cue to leave. Thank you, and we'll see you guys
Next time. See ya.